Hey guys, so there is an update on Metaphor Refantazio after the Game Fest and other Atlas theme, including bunch of demo is also being released. You might have seen them online already. But for those that just quickly want to catch up, I do have a recap for you here of what's going on. And after that, we also be covering Midori tweet about when Persona 6 official information will be released. Also, we have been following Midori's story about her frustration of the internet, and she's actually talked more about that as well. Let's start with recapping Metaphor Refantazio information. First, there is a stream from Atlas showcasing more information of the archetype. Mainly what you have to know is that there will be over 40 archetypes, but it's not entirely all unique. Because how it works is that you have to unlock the base archetype and then they'll branch up into a stronger one or just a different version of them. But when everything is all considered, there'll be more than 40 archetype. Now, one way that they mentioned that you will have to do to unlock archetype is by using the social features, just similar to Persona. There's a place called Academia, which is a library looking place. Here you can perform a bunch of archetype action, and there's also a cat there, and apparently you can pet it and it gives you some item. Moving on, there is quite a bit of new footage inside the Gauntlet Runner. Now we can see that it can actually swim as well, which is pretty interesting. And as you already know, you can do a bunch of activity inside. Here we see the characters moving toward the washing machine, and it seems to be giving you some MP or something like that. Apart from that, we also see a little bit of a fishing minigame. But one of the most exciting stuff so far have to be the explanation of how the combat works. First, we haven't been followed the trailer of Metaphor Refantazio or news. The way the combat works is that there will be two systems. One of them is a real-time combat where you can just fight a weaker enemy with just hack and slash action. However, if the enemy is too strong, you can just use a system called Squall's turn-based system. And it has been confirmed that for the turn-based action, this game will be using very similar or pretty much the same system as Shin Megami Tensei, which is called the turn press system. The turn press system is similar to the one more system, but it's a little bit more in-depth, and it's also act as like a double ace sword. Let me try to explain it. Mainly, if you attack the enemy weakness or you land a critical, you'll get one more turn. But every single turn that you have, which you can see up there representing as a little ball or a star, I'm not sure what that is, you can get one extra turn for one extra turn icon. And if you pass your turn, you don't lose a turn, you'll just lose half a turn, so you'll be able to still use that one icon, but it'll become like a smaller star. Apart from that, this is the biggest difference from Persona series, is that if you attack an enemy that null or absorb your attack, you'll get penalized by losing an extra turn. So you'll lose the turn that you use, and another turn that can be used by another character as well. So you have to be extremely careful in this game compared to the Persona system that is a bit more forgiving. And not only that, the enemy can also use this system as well. So if they attack your weakness, they'll get extra turn. And if you're actually a team build to null or absorb the enemy attack, they will also lose turn. Apart from that, it is shown that the level up system in this game will be similar to SMT. Well, there'll be a flat stat that automatically upgrade, but you can also choose the stat that you want to upgrade as well for your characters. I'm not sure if this is gonna be for all character. All that was shown, or at least in the demo that I saw, is just the main characters. There's a lot of interesting archetype that is shown, but I'm not gonna go all through of them because this is mainly just a quick summarize. But here, this guy called a mass dancer. I'm not exactly sure how it works. It might be chances, but it looked like he can steal turn. You can see up there that he will take 3-turn icon, which is pretty crazy powerful, to be honest. That said, I wonder if this game will be as hard as SMT, because SMT series are known to be really hard, even in normal mode. And I'm sure if you're like a super extremist, you probably play like even like hard mode or even extreme version of that. But I think even just normal is already quite hard for an average JRPG player. But I expect it to be somewhere in between. I would be surprised if they want to make it as difficult as SMT, because I still think that they're still trying to get majority of people to play the game and have fun, rather than only appeal to a really JRPG enthusiastic who wanted to play a really challenging JRPG. For the real-time combat, there's actually more interesting part, and that is if you change your archetype, your weapons during the real-time combat change as well, which is really cool. Remember when the main character in Persona 3, he was able to use different weapon and then they slowly changed him to use a sword? Well, this guy, you change his weapon and it's also affect the real-time combat. So here you can see him using ranged weapon and he has, I don't know what this little thing is, maybe some sort of fan or something, I don't know. And finally, for the turn-based action, there's also a back and front row mechanic. Most of people who play JRPG might already be familiar with. It's kind of similar to the Final Fantasy one where you can put character in the back and the front row. Well, older Final Fantasy, I'm sure the new one, there's no such thing anymore. But the back row character will take less damage, but they'll also do less damage as well. However, if you put character like a mage or like a gunner and stuff like that in the back row, they will still do pretty decent damage because that's how they meant to be places. Moving on, let's visit Midori Twitter. She recently posted that there'll be new information for Vision of Mana, which will be revealed soon. Please look forward to an update on the release date and more information on this title soon, which is pretty exciting stuff. Vision Mana is a really old title from Square Enix, and finally we'll have a main line that's not a remake. I never played this series, but from the look of it, it looked really fun, and I might actually go back and try to play the old one before trying this new one out. The trailer will be out in, I think, in 2 days. When I post this video, it might already be 1 day. Apart from that, she also posted, I am just excited for Nintendo Direct. Nintendo Direct, while not officially announced anything yet, people do expect it to happen in June. I will likely do a live react again if you guys want to join me on that one. And she mentioned here that I like Nintendo and I'm excited for a new Nintendo Direct. I don't have Nintendo Direct information if you're looking for her to leak the date and information about it. And here we have some information about Persona 6. But before that, let's continue the story of how Midori has been showing some sign of frustration with the rumor that people are talking about her. Recently, she even mentioned that she was thinking that maybe her information is frustrated and maybe she should change the way of how she present her information. We talk about this in the other video as well. And she also mentioned as well that she's going to be taking a break from talking about unofficial information for now and just stick with official or a super sure information only for now for this reason. And the newest update when it's come to this story is she mentioned that there is some forum writing weird conspiracy about me and my information. The conspiracies are all incorrect information, but it's funny. Can you share with us some of the funny one, Midori? Someone said my account was sold to someone from that forum. Another person used my theory on a website certified as example of an incorrect leak. I forgot because there was a lot and it's make me uncomfortable sharing more information in the future. So now, as we discussed in the last video, we said that her frustration is probably coming from, a lot of rumor and people talking stuff about her that she didn't like. And it's clearly has bothered her. I think at this point it's confirmed that's what is bothering her is all this rumor and information. And even she mentioned here, right, that it's make me uncomfortable sharing more information in the future. So she's being more careful or waiting for the information to be more correct. But at the same time, she also mentioned in the past that if she wait for too long, she can also be too late and the information will be too close to the official, which making the leak less interesting, I guess. But I want to stop sharing unannounced information anyway. I think I have shared enough and I am confident it is correct information and the attention and conspiracy are stressful. Oh, so this is new. So maybe she will stop forever. I'm not sure. Before she said she's gonna take a break or something like that. But now she might stop forever with the unannounced information. That's gonna suck. So that's true because while I understand the nature of the leak where it could be true or it could not be true, it's still fun to have something to talk about before the game come out rather than just wait for nothing. So to be honest, this would be a pretty big blow in my opinion if she decided to stop. Honestly, I am more than happy with you just sharing more inside info on things that are announced already or rumored. Thank you. We have a green hearts for Persona 6 color. Yeah, the coolest thing you have leaked so far was that Persona 6 was based on that one version of Monopoly. I would love to see more leak like that. I appreciate all the work that you have put into this account, Midori. I hope you have a good day. And someone said, oh, I saw that too. Probably talking about the people starting rumor about Midori. And she said that I didn't know what to say, but it's made me feel uncomfortable. They're confirming the source of her frustration. I think that's pretty much going to be the end of this saga, unless she still continue to complain about it, which she have the right to. But at this point, I think her reducing the number of unannounced information, honestly, will that really help? Either way, I don't think she watched my video, but I'm sure me and everybody here want to let her know that we appreciate her and hopefully she feel better whether what she chooses to do moving forward. Now let's talk about Persona 6. Midori mentioned here that please look forward to information on Persona 6 with proper timing. Right now it is time for Atlus to promote Metaphor as a brand new IP, and there are plans to expand Metaphor as an IP. She mentioned this a couple day, maybe a couple week now, I don't remember exactly, that the main game for this year that Atlus is pushing is Metaphor Refantazio. So don't expect to see any Persona 6 information for a while. I'm not sure if you can rule out that we won't be seeing anything until next year. But Midori continued to say here that this information is consistent with previous posted information, which is what I just explained to you guys. And I do not have an announcement timeline right now because event plans are not always final until right before. Oh, unfortunately, maybe she do have something, but I guess she doesn't want it to share it now because of cool people on the internet, unfortunately. Because, yeah, just from reading it, it sounds like she have something, but it's not final, so she choose to not say it. That's up to her though, unfortunately, but that's how it is. And finally, she end with, and development of Persona 6 is not in trouble. The development of this title is far along. Atlus is expanding on IPs in the lead up to Persona 6 as part of brand expansion. This Atlus is expanding on IP is the lead up to Persona 6 as part of brand expansion. This year, Midori also mentioned that they're planning to push Persona 5X more as well. We have the Chinese server and the Taiwan server already running, and there's a English patch out. And she mentioned that next should be Japan and Southeast Asian English, if I remember correctly. So that might be something that are announced before Persona 6. But if there's more information, I'll let you guys know. And don't forget, there's so much information about Metaphor here and a little bit about Persona 6 that is going to overshadow SMT Vengeance. But SMT Vengeance is coming out really soon. In fact, it's coming out in a couple of days, and it's looked really good, to be honest. And there's also an opening movie of it already upload on YouTube, so if you have time, maybe you want to check that stuff out. Really cool stuff. Lastly, for Metaphor Refantazio, the collector edition of it this time around seemed really interesting because apart from getting the Steelbook, there is tons of stuff that you're getting. So apart from the Steelbook, of course, you have the base game, you have the soundtrack, and this is not just the soundtrack of the game, it also includes the Atlus 35th Digital All-Time Best Soundtrack. So it got all the best soundtrack from Atlus for the 35 years that they were making games. And of course, we have the art book, which you can see here. Hopefully, the art book is more interesting than the Persona 3 Reload one, because I heard from some of you guys that it was totally crap because most of the thing that's shown in the Persona 3 Reload art book is just the material they use to advertise the game, so you don't feel the exclusivity at all. Apart from that, there is Omo Tenta Metallic Pin, which is this little tooth thing, which is a new monster. According to the game, I think they mentioned in the demo that they're supposed to be one of the icon for the game. I don't know if they're supposed to be a mascot. I think Soda, but at the same time, I feel like Galaga is much cuter. The tooth thing is kind of weird. And also sticker sheet, Kingdom of Ochronia cloth map, which is this little cloth thing over here, and costume and battle BGM, just the usual Atlus DLC stuff. You get all the costume from their popular series, all the Persona stuff, and SMT there as well. And as I mentioned there, with the digital all-time best soundtrack, we're also going to get the Atlus 35th Anniversary Digital History Book. Now, I'm not 100% sure what is a digital history book, really. I'm not sure if that's physical. It kind of sucks if it's digital and not physical, but it did say digital. But you see like this box thing, which is kind of confusing to me. And of course, a pre-order bonus voucher as well for some DLC that, you know, kind of make the game easier, but it's whatever in my opinion. Midori also shared some content in the Atlus brand 35th history book as well. And yeah, the cover looked so good. I kind of wanted to buy the collector edition myself, but I don't have PS5. It's useless to me. There's an interesting content in here as well. Like, check this out. The Atlus brand 35th history book contains a history of Atlus and multiple creator comments. Creator comments Kazuya Nino, Katsuhiro Harada, Natsuki Hanae, Jun Fukuyama. This list is just a few of the creators that are featured. And she mentioned here as well that the Atlas brand 35th history book also contained an interview with Yuji Horii, the creator of Dragon Quest series. And if I remember correctly, there will be an interview with someone. They didn't really say the name yet, but the context is they will talk about what make a JRPG fun to play. That would be a really interesting read, in my opinion. And I'm not sure if it's gonna be Yuji Horii or not, but now that Midori mentioned this, that might be the case. So here are a little bit more of the contents inside the book. Very interesting stuff. But yeah, if you plan to buy Metaphor Refantazio and pre-orders, and if you want to support my channel, you can use the affiliate link that I will put in the video description. The price will be the same as you buying the full game. But if you find better price somewhere else, don't worry about it. Just get the cheaper price. At the end of the day, I appreciate you guys hanging around. Thanks for watching and see you guys next time.